Hi guys, welcome to ABM Guitar Parts Germany. We have been manufacturing guitar bridges for 75 years, supporting our clients through all decades of rock music. My name is Peter and let us enjoy this video together. Today's subject is: how do you choose the right Tune-o-Matic bridge for your guitar? Part 1. The technical aspects. Like the guitarist who wants to improve his instrument, we are all searching for the holy grail of sound. Therefore, the most effective option is to upgrade the guitar bridge, which simply works as an acoustic filter. You can optimize the tone directly at the source of the sound development just by exchanging the guitar bridge. At the first glance, a bridge replacing seems to be simple, as Tune-o-Matic bridges look similar. But the details makes the difference. Which bridge fits my instrument? Let us start by clarifying the technical data first. For that reason, this video contains 3 sections of help. Chapter 1 provides the 3 important questions to identify a guitar bridge, while Chapter 2 explains the different types of bridges in detail, while Chapter 3 assists you in measuring guitar bridge dimensions correctly. This video timeline allows you to easily navigate between the chapters. Chapter 1. The 3 important questions. Question 1. Which type of bridge is installed? You can pretty much expect your guitar to have one of these bridges mounted. Either the narrow ABO1 type, whose body is about 11 mm wide, or the wide Nashville bridge, which provides a longer intonation range. If the intonation settings on a Nashville bridge have already used up, I would not replace it with a more narrow ABO1 type. Thus, intonation problems could happen. And yes, the reality shows that a lot of guitar bridges are not set perfectly to the scale length of the guitar. As a result, the adjustment range may be very small in one direction. Attention! These 2 bridge types show a different mounting support normally. Question 2. How large is the distance between the bridge post bores, measured from the center of the bores, and what is their post bore diameter? You need this information to be compatible with your bridge mounting support. I will deepen this topic in the next chapter. Question 3. How is your bridge mounted to the guitar? By using a combination of bolts and sleeves, or just with the posts fastened straight into the wood? Or is your bridge supported by a wooden base possibly? If you can answer these questions, you are getting very close to the goal. As a quick transition to Chapter 2, here is some insider information in between. Many guitarists call the Tune-o-Matic bridge by its short name, namely T.O.M or T.O.M, based upon the product name Tune-o-Matic by Gibson. The name refers to a guitar bridge that is adjustable in height and intonation. Chapter 2. The different types of Tune-o-Matic bridges in detail. Let me start with the most well-known T.O.M bridge. It is the Gibson ABO1 adjustable bridge, which is combined with the success of a legendary electric guitar. Yes, it's the Gibson Les Paul right over there. Ted McCarthy invented the ABO1, which became standard equipment on the Les Paul in 1955. It was the first successfully manufactured adjustable guitar bridge to be mounted in conjunction with a stop tailpiece. The bridge consists of the body and adjustable saddles that are screwed to it. You can precisely adjust the intonation by moving the saddles forward and back. But only the string tension holds the saddles to the bridge. The ABO1 received an important upgrade in 1962. In order to secure the saddles in place, a retainer wire was added. Hooray! This was and is very useful for winding up new strings and for improving intonation stability and the tuning stability as well. But the devil is in the details. The retainer wire makes side noises like buzzing or rattling as a result of self-oscillation. So Gibson decided to reintroduce the non-wired ABO1 version again, especially for vintage correct Les Paul reissues of the 50s and the 60s. The ABO1 features a slender classic bridge body design with nearly 11mm width and a post spacing of 73.65 to 73.82mm. The bolt spacing varies slightly based upon the die casting production process. A bridge that is milled from solid metal is much more precise indeed. The ABO1 is mounted with 6 to 32 UNC threaded posts. They are screwed straight into the wood holes of the instrument. The post thread's outer diameter measures roughly 3.5 mm. The bridge is supported by wheels that travel over the threaded posts, allowing for height adjustment. Some Asian manufacturers also produce ABO1-like bridges with metric M4 posts and a post spacing of 74 mm. For instance, the Goto GE 104B. The outside diameter of the M4 standard thread ranges from 3.75 to 3.9 mm, depending on how pronounced the thread tips are. You can also find bridges with a narrow bridge body with different bolt spacing and mounting accessories. For example, the Epiphone Lockdown bridge offers ABO1 bridge dimensions, but larger post bores. They have a diameter of 6.25 to 6.5 mm and are suitable for mounting with 6 mm to M8 posts and bushings. Or an ABO1 bridge with 5 mm holes and M5 studs and anchors is seen on some actual Les Paul standard guitars. It is always worth checking the data carefully. Following the ABO1, Gibson announced the square design harmonica bridge in 1970 as a step forward. From today's perspective, this bridge was a short-term interim solution until Gibson introduced a successful product in 1975, the Nashville Bridge. It was named after the new Gibson's company's headquarters moved from Kalamazoo to Nashville. This bridge is about 3 mm wider than the slender ABO1 type, providing a larger intonation range at once. It includes a hidden saddle wire on the bottom of the bridge to keep the saddles in place. Again, a saddle wire tends to produce side noises. This is the same issue as shown by the ABO1. We have to learn that not always a better function causes a better tone. Furthermore, the Nashville bridge is a slight, imprecise Dicus product, so bolt spacing can range between 74 and 74.5 mm. This guitar bridge was originally manufactured by the German company Schaller, but Gibson changed the vendors over the last decades. You can see the Nashville bridge mounting support here. It consists of one-piece bolts with cylindric post head and a diameter of 4 mm, followed by a built-in wheel part and a metric M5 screw thread on the lower side of the post. And these bolts are supposed to be screwed into M5 drive-in sleeves that are countersunk in the guitar body. There's good news for those who prefer a traditional narrow ABO1 design but with a natural mounting support. Think about the ABM 2500 for instance. But be careful, compared to the typical Nashville design, a narrower bridge has a smaller intonation adjustment range. Please check on this issue first. The ABO1 and the Nashville bridge are still being built side by side. The ABO1 for vintage instruments from the 50s and the 60s, while the Nashville bridge is used on modern Gibson instruments. In contrast to American or German types, the majority of Gibson bridges are manufactured in Asia, still with a different mounting support. Here we go, the Asian Nashville type. Normally this bridge type has the same wide Nashville bridge body design. It also has the same post spacing of 74 mm, but combined with larger bridge bores with a diameter of 6.25 to 6.5 mm. The bridge is supported with threaded bolts. They have a cylindrical head with a diameter of 6 mm, followed with an M8 thread at the bottom part of the post. There has to be screwed T.O.M. threaded bushings that are countersunk in the guitar body. However, why is the Nashville bridge using posts with such large dimensions? The answer is quite simple. The construction is much more strong for the use in cheap mass-produced guitars. A very inexpensive and unstable wood is used normally. These guitar bodies often consist of 5 or more individual pieces of lumber that are glued together to one body or directly made of soft plywood. Of course, larger drive-in bushings provide a better hold in this case. On the other hand, the sound transmission is not as fine and sensitive because more mass has to be stimulated to vibrate. Remind yourself that some vendors like Epiphone combine the narrow ABR1 bridge design and post spacing with a 6 mm T.O.M. posts. You now have a better understanding of Tune-o-Matic bridges and how they differ. Chapter 3: Measuring guitar bridge dimensions correctly. It is always a good idea to have the right tool at hand. For measuring the guitar bridge dimensions, let us always use a digital caliper. A ruler or folding yardstick is far too imprecise and may cause confusion in comparing data. I always measure the post spacing of a bridge on the bridge itself, so I avoid inaccuracy due to the post clearance. But how do we measure the post spacing exactly? It is the distance between the bridge bores as measured from their midpoints. This is difficult to dimension because the caliper's measuring arm cannot be positioned exactly in the center of the bore. The ABC method is the simplest way to determine the post spacing of a guitar bridge. Please measure the distance between the opposite inner sides of the bridge bores, called A, and add one bridge bore diameter to it, distance called B. This is how you easily calculate the bolt spacing, called C. Finally, we look at the common inaccuracy found in many die-cast guitar bridges: the conical bridge bore issue. The bridge bore diameter often differs from the top to the bottom of the bridge, and sometimes even from bore to bore of one bridge either. The reason is a conical bore caused by the die-casting manufacturing process. It is worth measuring the bridge bore diameter or post spacing from the top, but also from the bottom of the bridge. If in doubt, let us calculate the average. Now you have a lot of information about common Tune-o-Matic bridges, their differences in dimensions and their way of mounting to the guitar. Feel free to scroll through the video chapters again to review the topic you are most interested in. In the next video, we will learn about the tonal differences of Tune-o-Matic bridges with respect to craftsmanship, production process and material choice. I will also explain our approach in building guitar bridges, and I will dispel some common myths that no one really needs these days. We are allowed to get very excited. Finally, thank you very much for your time and a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Simply follow our YouTube channel to stay updated, and we always appreciate a comment if you especially liked something, have further questions or would like to share any suggestions. Stay tuned and have a great day. Peter from ABM.